Content is king right now. I probably became a star before there was social media. So I was already established. I didn't need social media to make me who I am. If I am a believer in the good, I have to believe in the dark as well. When it came to me, I just looked at it and I was like, oh my God, I have to do this film. Finally today, I feel like our audience wants to know more about our stories, about their stories. हम उसको dub करके भी release कर रहे हैं. So that language barrier we have broken. What we become when we become mothers is always a little supernatural. I understood finally, after rebelling for God knows how many years as a child, how important discipline was for children.
She's fierce, she's funny, and she's forever fabulous. Joining us today is the timeless powerhouse of Indian cinema, Kajol. Thank you so much for joining HT City today. And I want to, of course, begin by asking about Ma. What drew you to the project?
It initially came to me as a concept of Kalima and Raktabij, the story of Kalima and Raktabij. And I love that story. I always have from the time that I was a child. I have told that story many times over to my own children and scared them silly. So it's been always been one of my favorites. And when it came to me, I just looked at it and I was like, oh my God, I have to do this film. If anybody should do this film, it should be me. And of course, we tried to write it like a thriller and really tight and crisp, etc. But when the script finally came, it had to be a horror.
Right.
Because we had created such big characters and the situations had become so grand that that there was no other tag that we could put on it. We had to add the horror tag to it to give it that kind of a climax. And that was the only way the viewers would be satisfied with what they were seeing.
We are now also seeing a lot of rooted storytelling, like rooted stories being told on screen. This is like a recent trend, I would say. What do you think, why do you think such stories are resonating with the people so much?
I think that it has to do with the fact that again, I would say is that I think people want to feel connected. They want to feel connected. And we in our country have always had a tradition of oral storytelling.
Yes.
You know, we've always done this. कि मेरी दादी ने कहानी सुनाई थी, मेरी मामी ने कहानी सुनाई थी मुझे, मेरी माँ ने कहानी सुनाई मुझे. और मैं भी, when I was a kid, I remember my great grandmother sitting and telling me stories about what happened with her and what happened with my grandfather. And you know what, the history of the family was always oral. And these small supernatural stories were always interspersed nicely among them. So I think that's one thing that has always been a tradition. And I think mythology, our Indian mythology is brilliant. It's wonderful. We've got such amazing stories in it. And finally today, I feel like our audience wants to know more about our stories, about their stories, which शायद कुछ आए हैं उनकी तरफ, लेकिन but they have not been able to hear all of the stories from everywhere. And now because there is no language barrier, we don't have a language barrier anymore. It's not like कि हम अगर हिंदी पिक्चर रिलीज कर रहे हैं तो मतलब दूसरे भाषाओं के लोग देख नहीं पाएंगे क्योंकि हम उसको डब करके भी रिलीज कर रहे हैं. So that language barrier we have broken. So everybody wants to know, that okay, that thing is gone, that stigma is gone, that oh God, I can understand this film. It's a new, completely new world for me.
True. Do you believe in the supernatural, or are you a rational skeptic who loves a good horror script?
I am a believer in the good. Okay. I am a believer in the good, and if I am a believer in the good, I have to believe in the dark as well. I'm a believer of balance. I think everything has a balance. The world has a balance, and we all have a dark side and a light side to us. So yes, there is a huge part of me that knows that it exists.
Right. You have played as Anjali Raichand. You were this fun, loving, full of life character on screen. And now you are adding this, sort of a very fierce and a divine layer to Ma
Absolutely.
on screen. How do you see this shift, the evolution of Ma on screen? And how do you see yourself as part of this legacy of Ma on screen?
Well, thank you for that, for making me part of a legacy. That's huge. But I think mothers have always been divine. I think what we become when we become mothers is always a little supernatural, a little because I think most human beings cannot imagine themselves like that. We've created life. I mean, with how many ever boundaries science has broken, it still has not been able to break that one little boundary yet. So yeah, and we've created life within us with our own flesh, blood, stem cells. It's fabulous. And yeah, we are a little supernatural and we are a little divine and have always been. We've just taken it for granted and thought that that was what we were, that was all that we were.
Yeah.
That we didn't realize that that was so much more than what we were. So I think, yes, today I think we're just recognizing that divine feminine and, showing it out in the conscious world.
Right. You're a mother, of course, in real life. You have two very beautiful children. Tell me, सबसे ज़्यादा क्या as a mother किस चीज़ से डर लगता है? Because in this age of technology where there's AI, information is on the tips, on your phone. There's so much access to information. सबसे ज़्यादा scared किस चीज़ को लेकर होते हो?
I think you are most scared of something actually harming your child. That's the one thing that you cannot probably come back out of. Everything else, yes, there's technology, there's criticism, there's failure, which are all things that somewhere down the line you can probably with time and space fix. But actual physical harm is something that you cannot fix that easily and may not be able to fix at all. And that's something that is unimaginable. I think that's an unimaginable threat to a parent.
Right. Your children have grown up in the public, eye. Then you've also seen the pap culture coming in. How do you think they've handled all of this?
I think they've handled it with a lot more grace than I have. They still are handling it with a lot more grace than I am. With a lot more acceptance as well, I would say. But I think that's something that we've had a lot of conversations over.
Right.
We've had a lot of conversations over it, and I know for a fact that my daughter especially has been pretty hounded, I think, from the time that she was 14 or 15, which is not correct. It was really not right. But it leads to a different lifestyle. You need security to go out. You can't do a lot of things that you probably would have been able to do if you were not hounded or whatever. But also, I think somewhere down the line, now that she's a little more grown up, it's a little more, I wouldn't say acceptable at all, but it's something that you have to accept.
Right.
So we have no choice in the matter other than to change your perspective on it and again, handle it with a lot of dignity and grace.
That's so well said and so well put together. I also want to ask you, Tanuja ma'am say, what things did you pick up that sort of helped you when you embraced motherhood?
Lots of things, lots of unconscious things really. Her tone of voice, her ability to stop me in my tracks wherever I was. I inherited it. And I inherited it and I got it subconsciously. Most importantly, I think the one thing that I took from her was I understood finally, after rebelling for God knows how many years as a child, how important discipline was for children. And I realized that is one thing that children absolutely need. It's like, when you plant a tree, you require sometimes to put a border around it, ताकि वो पेड़ सीधे उग सके. तो हमारा जो डिसिप्लिन होता है, हमारा प्यार होता है, वो पेड़ के इर्द गिर्द जितने भी चीजें आपने प्लांट की हैं, you plant it with your discipline and with your love enough so that that tree can grow straight and strong.
Are you strict with your children?
I am. I was a lot more, but I think somewhere down the line, now that they've grown up, they're not that small anymore. I can't really, fire them too much. But yes, I think that it's very important for them till today to understand that there are lines that you do not cross. And I think that will just make them better human beings.
Right. Today, when we see Bollywood, the audiences now crave maybe a big spectacle of sorts on screen, on the big screen, or sort of emotional truths. Do you think somewhere Bollywood is lacking in terms of content to draw audiences to the big screen?
I think content is right now. I think right now what has happened is that people are coming in to watch, like you said, things that really, really make sense to go and watch on screen. I think right now it's about yes, it is about that, and content is king right now. Totally. So it is king right now. So yes, we have upped our standards. We need to up our standards, and all of us realize that. There's not one person who does not realize that we are all slowly but surely upping our standards to make sure that we we realize that we are at an international level, and we have to compete at that level. We're not competing at a national level anymore.
Yes. Also, you rose to stardom at a time when charisma, mystery, body of work, all of these things made an actor a star. Today, it is more about virality, visibility. What is your opinion on it? How do you see this?
I don't know whether I'm the right person for this to judge it, honestly, because like you said, I probably became a star before there was social media. So I was already established. I didn't need social media to make me who I am. Maybe to show people what I can become, yes, but not to make me who I am or not to change my base identity. The actors today, most of the actors today have come in with social media.
Right.
They have made their identities according to social media and according to what they want to be seen as, and made it very much a part of work. The work factor is a huge part of their social media.
True.
So like I said, I don't know whether I am the right person, because I am fortunately or unfortunately not part of that group of people at all.
Right. Also, it's 30 years of DDLJ. It's an iconic role. I can not speak about it with you. Today, when you look back, how would you summarize that experience of working on DDLJ?
How would I summarize it?
Yeah. How do you look back on that experience of
I
shooting the
loved
film?
it. I had a great time. I worked with my friends.
Yeah.
I had a blast. We knew we were making a good film. We knew it because the script was fantastic. And we all laughed through it. And that was the good part of it. We ate good food, traveled around Switzerland in a bus. And just generally had the best time. It was like being on one long working holiday. I don't know how to put that in any other way but that. And yes, parts of it were ridiculous, like trying to drape a sari in a cow shed, or rolling down a hill by mistake. I mean, who rolls down a hill by mistake? But I've done that. And at all of it, just small things, really, so it's just like, it's running to finish, change your clothes, and before the sun sets, we have like 15 minutes for the shot, and all of that madness, all of that. So, and loving every bit of it, and
But
enjoying
आज
it.
भी ये dialogues use होते हैं. बड़े-बड़े शहर में छोटी-छोटी बातें होती रहती हैं. Or, why do you think it still resonates with, across generations?
Because I mean, it's just a film. It's the film. It's really the film. It's the film. It's Shah Rukh saying those lines. All of that, come to think of it, it's all put together. It's the romance and drama of the 90s in the best way possible.
I think we will forever be a fan of DDLJ. I will wrap this up with with a game actually, a Gen Z lingo game. So, what is bussin'?
Isn't that kissing somebody on the cheek? He busts somebody on the cheek, right?
No.
No.
Somebody-
Rap? It's rap?
No.
Is it rapping?
No.
It's not rapping? Got it.
So,
I give up. I failed this quiz.
It means something extremely good and it specifically refers to food.
Oh.
Next, simp.
Cool.
No.
Sap. Nice. Bad.
Nice.
Nice.
Close. Being too nice to somebody.
Okay. Simple.
To somebody you're attracted to.
These are very complicated definitions.
But these are Gen Z lingo.
But
These
I
people are
don't even
using
have
this
these
language.
emotions. I don't have these emotions only. I've decided.
अच्छा ये तो पता ही होगा. I'm sure. Main character energy. ये तो आप ही की है.
बिल्कुल, बिल्कुल. This is the main character energy is not Gen Z lingo.
Touch grass.
Drugs?
No. इतना नहीं.
इतना नहीं है. मतलब 6 साल के बच्चे ने सिखाया है. सोच लो. Maybe you need to put cameras at home. Touch grass. I don't know. Touch wood?
No, like get a reality check.
Oh, okay.
Just get off.
I'm real. Like I told you, I don't speak yet.
अच्छा ये तो पक्का पता होगा. No cap.
Huh. There's like no cap basically. It's like unlimited.
No.
No?
No.
What is it? No cap.
No lie. I'm
You'll
telling
get
the
sunburnt.
truth. No lie.
Oh.
मुझे लगा sus.
Suspicious.
See?
एक तो मिल गया.
Kajol, I want to wrap this up by asking you one last question. What do you think the audiences should expect when they come and watch this film?
I think they should expect a really good product. I think they should expect to get scared.
Yeah.
I think they should expect lots of fun and a really good film. That should.
Superb. All the very best.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure.